How are you, man? Happy Memorial Day weekend.
Doing great. Same to you. Thanks.
A lot of big things going on with Glory Days magazine. Of course, listeners out there know you as the voice of the pre-halftime and post-game coverage of our high school football season, but also doing a lot of big things with Glory Days magazine. And I want to talk some high school baseball with you, and we alluded to this a few minutes ago. You got a really cool contest going on right now. I'm not sure I'm eligible, although I'd love to win this thing. Tell our listeners about this contest. Sort of a graduation party deal here, and it's really cool, right?
Yeah, definitely. Ever since I started this magazine, we've always been really focused on the senior student athletes. You know, I feel like they've put the time and the work in to be recognized. You know, they've been working hard for 4 years, and we tend to focus a lot of our feature stories on, you know, the upperclassmen, juniors, and seniors, that type of thing. So we thought it'd be cool to kind of get together a nice graduation party for one senior student athlete in our coverage area. So it's going to be really neat. We're going to have a DJ out there from All Star Entertainment. T-Wake's Barbecue is going to supply some food for about 50 people. Atlantic County Rentals offering a tent, chairs, tables, all that stuff. I'm going to be out there taking photos. We got some other businesses offering, gift cards, sweatshirts, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of the people that supported us, the local businesses, are jumping on board to kind of bring this all together. And it's a great thing. We've already had, probably more than 70 people sign up to enter. So it's really something that's taken off interest-wise. We're going to pick a winner on Thursday of this coming week. So it's a really cool event. We've been wanting to do this for the last couple of years and finally got it all together this year.
So the winner going to be picked this week. It's still time to enter, though, obviously. How do people do that?
Sure, yeah. You can just go over to acglorydays.com, and in the upper left-hand corner, there's a button there that says Graduation Backyard Barbecue Giveaway. Just click on that, fill out a quick form, and bam, you're entered. All you got to do is enter your email and a couple other information points, and you're all signed up, and we'll be picking a winner out on Thursday, and it's drawn a lot of interest for sure. A lot of parents are excited about this, and it's really a neat thing to do to kind of give back to some of these kids that have been working hard all year, and it's going to be some tough competition there. It's going to be picked at random, so we're not playing any favorites.
All right, and whoever wins, please invite me to the barbecue. That's the caveat here. Dave O'Sullivan.
I'm sure they can find a spot for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I do eat a lot of barbecue, so I might count for two. Dave O'Sullivan, Glory Days Magazine, joining us in studio. We just told you about that really cool contest. Also, some cool stuff going on with the magazine, and I'm looking at Bob Seufer on the cover here this week, Dave. And for people that don't know, Bob, former head coach at Holy Spirit of the baseball program, and the headline is back in the game. Tell us about that story a little bit.
Really neat story. Bob's a great guy, one of those baseball lifers. I mean, the guy's been coaching since he's 15, and he's 56 now, so 4 decades of coaching baseball. And just one of those guys you really want to have around in your dugout. He had to step away from the game prior to last year. He had some health issues, had to get some surgeries, stuff like that. And then, Coach Normain, who took over for him last year, always wanted to keep that line of communication open and kept kind of pestering him a little bit to work with the guys in the off season. He finally agreed, and once he got back into it a little bit this off season, Coach Normain said, "Look, help us out a little bit. Come 1 or 2 days a week." And of course, Bob Seufer, the baseball guy he is, been there every day. He's one of those guys who's going to show up the first guy, and he'll be there till 7, 8 at night. If somebody needs extra work, or he just like he said, that's really been his healing process. His mother passed away in March, which was a tough thing for him. And, a lot of guys could have just stepped away there and said, look, I'm going through a difficult time emotionally. But really, when you get down to it, as a baseball player and a coach, that's really, like he said, that's his sanctuary. That's where he feels like he needs to be. And I think working with these kids has really helped him, improve his mood, going through all these surgeries and the death of his mother. And those kids have really, like he said in the article, they've helped him out more than he's helped him out, those players out. So, which I don't know, the parents might disagree with that, but just a great guy. I mean, he's beloved throughout South Jersey. I mean, he reaches as far as Vineland. There's guys he coached that have kids that play out there. So his reach has really gone throughout the entire South Jersey area. And anybody who follows Cape Atlantic baseball knows about Coach Seufer.
Just a great read in Glory Days magazine this week. I know you guys have much more than the Seufer story in there. Sully, tell us some other things going on in there. Any mom conversations this week?
We haven't had one of those. We'll try to get one of those towards the end of the season here. Did a nice little feature on Zach Newman over at Cedar Creek, a real good athlete, 3-sport athlete. He didn't play basketball this year, but he's played football, basketball, and baseball over there at Cedar Creek. Just a real great kid, quiet kid. Just picked up his 100th career hit. So just finishing up a great career over there at Cedar Creek, which they have a lot of good athletes over there and a lot of great kids, good students. that type of thing. So that's what we're really trying to highlight in these print editions is these kids who are working hard, not only on the fields but in the classroom as well.
And a lot of you, of course, see Sully out at the game, snapping pictures and writing game stories, too. And we joke with you, Sully, during commercial breaks that you're on the mainland baseball bandwagon. But if you're going to be on a bandwagon, it's a good one to be on. And, of course, you cover a number of schools, but mainland just, let's be honest, they're in the headlines, and they're certainly in the headlines again, the baseball team. You had a chance to check out the playoff game yesterday, and we talked about it earlier. It's sort of been their MO. I mean, they're not blowing anybody out, but they're winning almost every game. I mean, tell us a little bit about the victory yesterday.
I'll tell you what, this is a team that the last couple of years has really come together, and it's been fun to watch for me, as a reporter and especially a baseball fan, a former player myself, to watch this team come together. And I think the thing that's really unique about them is they're such good friends off the field. All those guys, everybody on the varsity team, they all hang out together, that kind of thing. And there's just this real confidence within every guy on that team that even if a guy makes an error, strikes out with the bases loaded, they know the next time he gets a chance, he's going to make the opportunity count. For instance, Matt McLaughlin, starting shortstop, had a couple tough plays early on in the game. They got down 2-0, and knowing that their faith never wavered in him. Comes up, top of the sixth inning, turns a huge double play that gets them out of a bases loaded one-out situation without scoring any runs. And that really was the turning point of the game. That really set up the next inning where they took the lead. So just a great group of guys who really they've been working hard for 4 years to get to this point. Obviously they won the state championship last year, but they want to repeat again. And it's just been great to see all those guys, working so hard. Got Tyler Ray comes up huge, a guy we haven't really talked about all year. Senior first baseman comes up with a 2-run double to basically win the game. So that's kind of their MO. They know any guy on that roster can come through with a big hit at any time.
Dave O'Sullivan, Glory Days Magazine, hanging out in studio for a few minutes here as we talk some high school baseball with him and some cool stuff going on with Glory Days. And Dave, I know EHT obviously knocked out of the baseball playoffs yesterday, but a big win for the Silver Eagles earlier on in the week, and it came against really a rival in Absegami. And it's one of those South Jersey Group 4 pick'em games. It's so hard to predict who's going to come out on top.
Yeah,
but
for real.
I know you were there, and it was a great game played by both sides. In the end, EHT comes away with the victory.
That was a really exciting game. It was one of those weird games where it's there's fog and rain, and it's hard to even see the ball, and you have two great pitchers going at it, Ardente and Riggs, and just going back and forth. EHT comes out on fire early. They take the lead. Gammy grabs it back. EHT comes through late. So, I mean, just a great high school baseball game all around. But, that's playoff baseball, and those two teams really get after it come playoff time. They're the type of teams that, they may have a few bumps in the road as the regular season progresses, but they're really built for playoffs, those two teams. You see EHT finished 14-13, but, they played a very tough Cape Atlantic League schedule, as did Absegami, and they were both really firing on all cylinders in the playoff. It's too bad that it happened in the first round. That could have been a nice semifinal game.
What do you got going on today? Going over to check out some Ocean City baseball. We mentioned it's one of those games that not only got pushed today, got pushed an extra day because of the drainage issues in Ocean City, but the OC baseball team in action today. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see if they can pull off the win. It's going to make for a really awesome semifinals in South Jersey Group 3. You got Mainland versus Toms River South, and Delsey's awaiting the winner of Ocean City Winslow. If Ocean City can win that game today, you're talking about 4 coaches in the semifinals with probably over 900 wins combined. I mean, that's some serious baseball coaching, some serious programs. Like Mike McGarry said, Toms River South, even back when I was in high school in Lacey, they were the team that was just dominating the Shore Conference, and that hasn't changed in the last 25 years. One of the premier baseball programs in the state. So this South Jersey Group 3 tournament is really shaping up to be an exciting baseball tournament the next 6-7 days.
Fun time of year, busy time of year for us media types, but we love it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And it'll be a busy weekend. I know, obviously, we talked about it earlier, a lot going on in track and field, too. And were you over there as well? Or I know you usually pop over to some of the track and field events. Of course, we have the state meet, I should say, coming up next weekend as well.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get over there yesterday or today. I was at the one previous last week, the Cape Atlantic League stuff, and so many great athletes out there. You saw the EHT distance runners, the Ocean City relay teams. Track is just it's so hard to cover because there's so many good athletes, so many good teams, and it's great to see. So the Oak Crest boys are doing great. A couple of relay teams over there. So it's hard to keep all this stuff in order, but we're doing our best at it. So.
All right, Sully, before we let you go, as always, where can people check out your Glory Days magazine? I know you drop off a number to the area schools for the kids to grab, but for the adults out there, where can they grab a copy?
Most of our distribution is through Super Wawas in the Atlantic County area. We have about 10 or 12 spots in both Ocean City and Summers Point, and Giuliano's is a big distribution point for us in EHT. Dropped about 75 copies off there this week. So we're actually going to be increasing our distribution points coming up in June. We're going to be adding 50 new locations and some more copies to each run. So we're kind of hitting our stride here and looking forward to coming up, working all the way through the summer. We're going to have a couple different issues, some senior spotlight stuff, so a year in review, that type of thing. So we're just going to keep cranking them out until next season starts.
One of the hardest working men in the South Jersey sports scene, Dave O'Sullivan, Glory Days Magazine. Dave, thanks for swinging by, man. Have a lot of fun at Ocean City today.
Hey, it's not work if you love what you're doing. So I'm enjoying it every day, and thanks for having me on board. It's great to see these high school sports teams and all these athletes, and this time of year is great. The end of spring season, there's so much stuff going on, and playoffs, and it's just great to see these seniors come to the end of their career and really get the recognition they deserve.
Absolutely. Good stuff.